780. That's me right now. Like, I'm not bragging, but I'm a little bragging. At this point, I'm basically financially perfect.
Kyle?
This is what winning looks like, right? High score equals I'm doing great with money.
Kyle, quick question. What's in your savings account right now?
It's there. Like, the account exists. It's a number.
And your retirement account?
Also there, technically. It's just resting. It's a resting account.
Your credit score is a risk rating. Lenders use it to decide whether to lend you money and how much to charge you. That's it. It does not know your net worth. It does not know your savings. It doesn't know if you're one missed paycheck from a crisis.
Okay, but higher score means I'm smarter with money though, right?
You can have an 820 and be completely broke. You can have a 680 and be building serious wealth. The score doesn't know the difference. It only sees whether you pay borrowed money back on time.
So I could look rich and be broke?
That's literally person A in this scenario. Great score, financed everything. Retirement account? A rumor. Person B has a lower score and owns assets. 10 years later, person B has options. Person A has payments.
Okay, I'm listening. So what actually matters?
5 things: assets versus liabilities, cash flow, tax strategy, investing, and compound interest. Those 5 things are what build actual wealth. And today, we're breaking all of them down.
So my 780 is kind of not the point?
It's useful. It can lower your borrowing costs when borrowing actually makes sense. But it's a tool,
Not a destination.
and definitely not wealth.
Nobody ever told me that. Like, nobody. This whole time I thought the score was the goal.
Most people do. That's why we're here.
All right, let's fix that. Episode 4, let's go.
Let's go.
We've covered how to pay off debt, why rent to own is a trap, and how to build your emergency fund. Now, we're talking about the 5 things that actually make you wealthy, and why your credit score has nothing to do with any of them.
This is episode 4 of Financially Unsupervised. I'm Kyle.
I'm Mai, and your credit score is not your wealth score.
Kyle Mai, witty and wise, financially unsupervised.
Okay, so before we torch my credit score pride entirely, can we start with what it actually is? Because I genuinely thought it was like a financial report card.
That's actually the most common misunderstanding. A credit score is a prediction.
It predicts how likely you are to repay borrowed money on time.
That's the whole job. The score is built from 5 things. Let's go through them fast. Payment history, that's 35%, biggest factor. Amounts owed and utilization, 30%. Length of credit history, 15%. New credit and inquiries, 10%. And credit mix, 10%. That's it. Those 5 things are the whole recipe.
Wait, it doesn't see my bank account at all.
Not at all. No income, no savings, no net worth, no investments. You can be completely broke with an 820. You can be building real wealth with a 680. The score just doesn't know.
So what's actually considered a good score?
For most mainstream lending decisions, good starts around 670. Very good is 740 and above. Exceptional is 800 and above. But here's the mindset shift. Exceptional doesn't mean wealthy. It means you're a reliable borrower. A score is a measure of trust with borrowed money. Wealth is a measure of independence from borrowed money. Different game, different scoreboard.
Okay, but the score does matter for real money stuff, right? Like mortgages?
Yes. And this is where credit earns its keep. Let me give you a real example. Same $350,000 mortgage. 640 credit score tier, rate around 7.03%, 760 credit score tier, rate around 6.38%. That's less than a 1% difference in rate.
That doesn't sound like much.
Over 30 years, that difference is roughly $54,000 in extra payments. That's real money, which is exactly why you want to maintain solid credit. But notice what that example still doesn't measure. Assets owned, investments, income, or net worth.
Okay, that part is real money. I'll give you that. So the score is worth caring about, just not worth obsessing over.
Exactly.
Get to a strong range, pay on time, keep utilization reasonable, keep old accounts open. Then stop spending energy on squeezing out 12 extra points and start building net worth. After a certain point, extra credit optimization is a hobby, and it's an expensive one if it's taking time away from actual wealth building.
So credit is like the parking lot, not the destination.
That's exactly right. It gets you in the door cheaper. What you do inside is on you. And most people stop at the parking lot.
So why do we all act like the score is the destination?
Because the system rewards looking like a borrower, not thinking like an owner. Let's talk about that.
Okay, I feel like I need to confess something. I have genuinely shown people my credit score like it proved something. Like, see, I'm good with money.
You're not alone. That's by design. The products, the apps, the social media posts, they reward the approval, not the asset.
Here's a scenario. Person A has an 800+ score. Nice car, high-limit cards, never misses a payment. On the outside, looks like they've needed it. On the inside, retirement account is basically a rumor. Emergency fund is a few $100. Their entire lifestyle is financed.
That's a lot of people I know.
Person B. Their score is a boring 680. They don't flex credit cards online, but they own a small business that throws off cash. They have a rental property with equity. They invest every month. 10 years later, person B has options. Person A has payments.
That hurt to hear.
Here's the test. If you lost access to credit tomorrow, how much of your lifestyle would remain the same?
Honestly, I'd have to make some calls.
That's the illusion of prosperity. Credit can make you look wealthy by financing consumption. A low payment is not the same as a good deal. Wealth is what remains when the ability to borrow is removed. Let's bust 5 myths that slow wealth down. Myth 1. Carrying a balance builds credit. Reality, carrying a balance builds interest. Paying on time builds credit.
I've literally told people to carry a balance. I'm sorry to everyone I told that.
Myth 2. A higher credit limit means I'm richer. Reality, it means a bank will lend you more. That is not the same as owning more.
Okay, that one stings.
Myth 3. If my score is high, my finances are healthy. Reality, you can have a perfect score and still be one emergency away from a disaster.
Yeah.
Myth 4. I need debt to build wealth. Reality, you need cash flow and assets to build wealth. Debt is a tool. It is optional, not required.
Nobody says that out loud, but everyone believes it.
Myth 5. I'll invest later when I make more. Reality, starting early is the cheat code because compounding rewards time above everything else.
Okay, so the score is basically telling the world you're good at being a borrower. And we've been treating that like it's the same as being wealthy.
Exactly. A credit score measures trust with borrowed money. Wealth measures independence from borrowed money. Different game, different scoreboard. So, let's talk about the scoreboard that actually matters. 5 pillars: assets, cash flow, tax strategy, investing, compound interest. This is what builds wealth.
I'm ready. Hit me.
Pillar 1: assets versus liabilities. Wealth is built on a simple equation. Net worth equals assets minus liabilities. Assets are things you own that have value. Liabilities are obligations you owe. This number, net worth, is the score that actually reflects wealth, not your FICO.
Okay, so what counts as an asset?
There are 2 kinds: productive assets, things that grow in value or produce income. Broad index funds, retirement accounts. Rental real estate that generates cash flow, a profitable business. Non-productive assets, useful, but they usually depreciate. Cars, gadgets, most consumer goods. Here's the wealth move. You can own nice things, just not at the expense of the things that fund your future.
My car is an asset though, right?
How long is your loan?
72 months?
Then you're not buying a car. You're renting a lifestyle and paying interest for it.
Wow, okay, no more car talk, at least for the time being.
Think of wealth building as climbing a ladder. Rung 1, cash buffer, a small emergency fund. Rung 2, debt reduction, especially high-interest debt. Rung 3, base investing, consistent contributions to diversified funds. Rung 4, income expansion, career growth, side business, skills. Rung 5, asset acquisition, real estate, business equity. Most people try to jump to rung 5 while skipping rung 2. That's why the ladder collapses.
So I've been trying to climb from the 5th rung with nothing underneath me.
Most people are. Build the foundation first, then climb.
And how do I actually know where I am right now?
Build a personal balance sheet. 2 columns. Everything you own. Cash, car value, retirement balance, home equity if you have it. Everything you owe. Credit cards, loans, any debt. Subtract liabilities from assets. That number, whatever it is, that's your starting point. Track it quarterly, not daily. Daily tracking creates anxiety. Quarterly tracking creates clarity.
Okay, I need to own things that make money, not just things that cost money.
And the fuel that lets you buy those things is cash flow, which is next. Pillar 2, cash flow. Cash flow is your income minus your expenses over time. Net worth is the snapshot. Cash flow is the movie. And cash flow is the lifeblood of everything else, because cash flow is what funds your investing, your savings, and your stability.
And you can have high income and bad cash flow?
Absolutely. You can earn $140,000 a year and have zero investing happening because your fixed costs ate everything. The amount you earn matters less than the amount that actually moves toward assets. Here's a simple diagnostic. If fixed costs eat 70% of your take-home pay, your life is fragile. Any disruption creates chaos. Fixed costs are the bills that come even if you stay home. Housing, car payment, insurance, debt minimums, subscriptions.
Subscriptions got me. I did the math once and it was embarrassing.
Subscription creep is the quiet version of being broke. Small monthly charges that add up to a car payment you didn't know you had. 3 main cash flow killers. High interest debt, it charges you for yesterday. Subscription creep, the quiet car payment. Lifestyle creep, the loud version. You earn more, you upgrade everything, and suddenly you're still living paycheck to paycheck at a higher income.
Lifestyle creep is so real. Every raise I've gotten, I've just spent.
That's the trap. The wealth move is to increase investing before you increase lifestyle. Every time. Here's a concrete example. Take-home pay is $3,000 a month. You free up $300 a month through cutting costs, paying down debt. If you leave that $300 in your checking account, it disappears. If you automate it into investing at 7%, over 30 years, that $300 a month becomes roughly $340,000.
$300 a month turns into $340,000? That's not a budget tip, that's a life tip.
The point isn't the exact number, it's the mechanism. Small cash flow wins compounded into real assets. Businesses get wealthy because they track profit and loss. Most households don't. Run your household like a business. Revenue, your take-home pay and any other income. Expenses, fixed costs, variable spending, debt interest. Profit, the money left over. That profit is your investable surplus. If there's no profit, there's no investing. If there's no investing, the future is funded only by future work.
Okay, what's next?
Tax strategy. Because if cash flow is the fuel, taxes are the toll booth, and most people pay way more than they have to.
Okay, taxes feel like a rich person problem. Like, I just pay what I owe and move on.
Taxes are one of the biggest expenses you will ever pay over your lifetime, and the goal isn't loopholes. It's understanding which behaviors the tax code actually rewards. Retirement saving, long-term investing, business investment. The IRS literally hands you benefits for doing the right financial things. Most people never pick them up.
Nobody ever told me the government rewards you for saving.
That's the whole game. Let's start with the most important one. If your employer offers a retirement match, that match is free money. A 50% match means you get a 50% return the moment you contribute enough to earn it. That is the highest confidence return in personal finance. It's guaranteed.
I don't do this right now. I'm doing this tomorrow.
Most people search for high-return investments while ignoring the highest confidence return available, which is sitting right in their employee benefits.
Traditional versus Roth. Traditional, you get a tax break now, pay taxes when you withdraw. Roth, you pay taxes now, withdrawals are potentially tax-free. Simple decision rule. If you're early career or in a lower tax bracket, Roth can be very attractive. If you're in peak earning years and need to reduce taxable income now, traditional. But here's the real truth. The best account is the one you actually fund consistently. Paralyzing yourself on traditional versus Roth while contributing nothing is the worst possible outcome.
That's basically what I've been doing. Just paralyzed.
If you're eligible for an HSA, a health savings account, it has a triple tax advantage. Contributions are deductible, growth is tax-free, withdrawals for qualified medical expenses are tax-free. It's one of the most powerful accounts most people never use.
Here's how tax strategy connects to the bigger picture. Credit can lower the cost of debt. Tax strategy increases how much of your income becomes investable surplus. One reduces cost, the other increases wealth. Both matter, neither replaces the other.
So I've got cash flow. I'm keeping more of it thanks to tax strategy. Now what do I do with it?
You put it to work. Pillar 4, investing.
Investing has always felt like you either know what you're doing or you're gambling. Like there's no in between.
That's what the industry wants you to believe. The truth is much simpler, and the simple version wins most of the time. Saving alone struggles against inflation over time. The average savings rate right now is less than 0.5%. If inflation is running higher than that, your purchasing power is quietly shrinking. You're not being safe, you're losing slowly. Investing is how you try to outpace inflation and grow purchasing power over decades. It's not a guarantee, it's a probabilistic strategy based on long-run expectations, which is why diversification and time horizon matter.
So what should I actually invest in? Like, do I need to pick stocks?
You don't need to pick individual stocks ever. A broad index fund gives you diversified exposure to hundreds of companies at once. You're not trying to win a casino game. You're buying a slice of a productive economy and holding it. That's the strategy. And it wins more often than stock picking, because consistency beats cleverness almost every time.
Consistent beats clever. I'm writing that down.
Fees are the quiet wealth killer. A fund that charges 1% a year versus 0.25%, that difference compounds against you over decades. The SEC notes that ongoing fees can materially reduce your return over time. Beginner takeaway: understand what you're paying and why. Low-cost, diversified funds. Hold long-term. That's the whole strategy.
Why does nobody teach this in school?
That's a different episode. The biggest investing mistakes aren't about picking wrong. They're behavioral. Panic selling when markets drop, chasing whatever's hot, and the biggest one, not investing because you're waiting to feel ready. Credit culture makes this worse. When your default response to desire is, I can finance it, you will struggle to invest, because investing requires delaying gratification on purpose.
I have literally chosen a new thing over investing before. More than once.
Most people have. The fix is automation. Make investing a bill. Pay it first, before lifestyle. Here's the order of operations. 1. Build a starter emergency fund. 2. Eliminate high-interest debt. 3. Capture employer match. 4. Automate monthly investing. 5. Rebalance occasionally. You don't need complicated to win. You need consistent.
And the reason consistency wins, that's the last pillar, right? Compound interest?
Compound interest. This is where it all clicks together.
Compound interest means you earn returns on your original money and on the returns you've already earned. It's the difference between pushing a boulder uphill forever and letting momentum build. The math doesn't care if you're paying attention, it just keeps going.
And it works against you with debt too?
Same math, opposite direction. That's what makes high-interest debt so dangerous.
Okay, give me something I can actually use.
The rule of 72. Divide 72 by your expected annual return. That's how many years it takes to double your money. At 6%, about 12 years. At 10%, about 7.2 years.
So my money can literally double without me doing anything else, as long as I don't touch it.
As long as you don't touch it. Time is the ingredient. It's the only ingredient you can't buy back.
Here's the most important chart in this episode. 3 people, same goal, different start times. Scenario A, $200 a month, starting at $25. Scenario B, $400 a month, starting at $35. Scenario C, $600 a month, starting at $45. At 65, Scenario A has $524,000. Scenario B has $487,000. Scenario C has $312,000. Scenario A invested less money, but they win because they started 10 years earlier.
Starting late requires you to either invest more or accept less.
That's exactly it. Starting later means you must choose one or the other. There's no way around the math. Now, let's look at the dark twin, high-interest debt, $10,000 at 22% APR. If you're only making minimum payments, interest is consuming most of your effort. The debt feels like it's barely moving. That's not because you're failing. That's because compounding is working against you every single month.
That's genuinely terrifying when you say it that way.
This is why debt payoff is often the first major wealth move. Paying off a 22% APR card is like earning 22% risk-free. It's hard to find an investment with that kind of guaranteed return.
So the whole point is that time is the most valuable asset, and every year you wait costs you more than the year before.
Exactly. And a credit score cannot give you back time. Assets, cash flow, tax strategy, investing, those can. But only if you start.
All right, I have some calls to make after this.
That's how you know the episode worked.
All right, I'm convinced. Credit score is a tool, not the goal. 5 pillars build real wealth. But where does someone actually start?
Where you are determines where you start. Let's break it down fast. Teens and early 20s. Goal, foundation. Avoid high-interest debt. Build basic credit. One card paid in full. Create a starter emergency fund. Start small, automatic investing if possible. Your biggest asset at this stage isn't your credit score, it's your time horizon. Late 20s to 30s roadmap. Goal is cash flow strength. Kill high-interest debt. Capture employer match. Make first asset-building moves when ready. The trap here is upgrading fixed costs faster than income. That locks you into payments and steals investing capacity. If you can do one wealth move in this stage, make your savings and investing automatic and increase it every time you get a raise. 40s and 50s. Goal is optimization and acceleration. Minimize bad debt. Increase retirement contributions. Use tax strategy intentionally. At this stage, the enemy isn't a bad score. The enemy is time. You want more of your money compounding and less of it servicing debt.
Okay, real talk, here's what you can actually do starting today. Next 30 days, pull your credit reports. Set auto pay on every debt minimum. Build a starter cash buffer. Write down your monthly fixed costs. Goal, stability. Next 90 days, attack your highest interest debt. Cut one fixed cost, do a subscription audit, or shop your insurance. Set up automatic investing even if it's small. Goal, momentum. Next 12 months, increase income where you can. Skills, job moves, side income. Grow the emergency fund. Raise your investing contributions. Goal, build a system you can repeat for years.
That's it. No complicated hacks. No credit score obsession. Just a system you run consistently.
Credit is the grease. The engine is everything else.
All right, I have some calls to make after this.
That's how you know the episode worked.
All right, here's what we covered today. Number 1, your credit score is a borrower rating, not a wealth rating. Number 2, wealth is built by 5 things: owning assets, controlling cash flow, using smart tax strategy, investing consistently, and letting compound interest do its job. Number 3, good enough credit supports your plan. Chasing perfection costs you time you could be investing. And number 4, the scoreboard that matters isn't FICO, it's net worth.
The action? Stop optimizing for the number. Start building the system. Cash flow feeds assets. Assets grow. Tax strategy keeps more of what you earn. Investing turns surplus into wealth. And compound interest makes time your most valuable resource. You don't need a perfect score to start. You just need to start.
If this episode changed how you think about your credit score, drop a comment below. Tell us your current credit score obsession level on a scale of 1 to 10. And tell us what you're actually going to do in the next 30 days. If you want to go deeper, we've got episodes on paying off debt faster, the rent-to-own trap, and your emergency fund all in this playlist. Subscribe if you haven't. We drop new episodes regularly, and we are just getting started.
Financially unsupervised.
See you next time.
Next episode, car buying. The 3 numbers dealers use to cook you, and exactly how to counter every single one.
Bring a calculator.
Kyle and Mai, witty and wise.